from this point on, we're starting a new segment here, which we are going to call the Rumor Alert. So from this point on, there'll be some separate videos and some other situations that'll happen from this. So SKN News is expanding, but the Rumor Alert, there's a couple of key things that we're going to let you know before we move over to the next slide, is that one, these are rumors. Some that are proven to be real and some aren't. So we're going to kind of let you know through a grading system where we're going to say pretty much, you know, if it's a fact, all right, and should you take this with a grain of salt, which we think, you know, is not going to happen. So we're going to hit the first one up tonight, and the rumor is going to be, and you've been hearing it all over the news, which is Kevin Feige. There was a report that was put up on a X page, which you got to understand where the source of that comes from, that said that he was stepping down, but that's not what basically our sources have been telling us all over the place. And this is how you know if something is definitely, again, it was learned from an X site, and the rumor that's coming through is actually the source is Yahoo saying that's not the case. That no, Kevin Feige is not leaving Marvel Studios. Recent rumors claim his departure after Avengers Secret War are false. He remains the president of Marvel Studios and continues to be involved in the creative direction of the MCU. While there has been past rumors about Feige's potential leaving, possibly to work on the Star Wars reboot, these have not materialized. He is still discussing future MCU products, and his commitment to the franchise remains strong. So, again, I know a lot of people said the same thing. We had this earlier in the year, was Kathleen Kennedy was stepping down, and then we found out, oh, that wasn't happening.
Well, let me clarify the rumor. If Fantastic Four is a flop, he won't be stepping down. He'll be pushed off the cliff. So let's just be clear here.
At least for now, he has a job.
Yeah, I don't volunteer.
Yeah, I don't think you could get rid of Feige unless, of course, exactly what Rad says.
Yeah, listen,
right.
Like, you know, yeah, it grossed nothing, Chet. Like, you know, it was like if it gets an all-time low, then he's gone.
No, I think there's so much writing on Fantastic Four that like the worst thing to happen for Fantastic Four is people say Superman's better.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll see. Actually, you know, again, I think a lot of people look at when you see something like it was like I think it was Marvel fans an X account or something. Like, yeah, don't, you know.
Well, look, source is Yahoo or some Yahoo, you know.
I mean, here's the good news, though. Here's the good news, because if Fantastic Four is a flop or not, he still have Ironheart on Disney Plus. I heard that this is going to be one of the best TV shows ever. So, you know, at least he has that.
Like, everyone knows a good executive. The reason why they retain jobs is they find someone to constantly blame it on. And that's how you know you have a good executive. And I'm sure there's a lot of asses to roll, but it won't be Kevin Feige. So, but right now we're seeing that rumor. It's a grain of salt.
What the hell?
Because obviously an actual trusted news source has debunked that. So, but like Mr. Maddox said, let's give it to the first 2 weeks of Fantastic Four, because Dr. Brentley and I know this. Usually after a poor performance at a theater, Monday morning is when they give you the 2 members of security walk you to the office, and they give you that box, and they tell you have an half an hour.
Box, baby.
Yeah, so we'll see if there's anybody escorted off the premises in a couple of weeks. So we got to figure that out. From there, another rumor that's hitting us, and there's another report, red hot, is now this one we're going to actually move this to fact.
You're right, it's fact,
not a rumor, because we saw this on the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline and everyone else. But guess what? If you thought that just Daredevil Born Again season 2 was the only time we're going to see the Predator, or I'm sorry, the Punisher, you've made a terrible mistake, because guess what? The one pairing that we have wanted to see since we've seen it in Marvel Comics, Spider-Man and the Punisher, is going to collide in Brand New Day. That is right. It's reported that John Bernthal has joined Tom Holland in Spider-Man Brand New Day, the latest Spider-Man movie from Sony and Marvel. Destin Daniels Creighton is directing the feature, which will shoot in England this summer and has a July 31st, 2026 release date. Much of the movie remains shrouded in mystery. Movie rumored websites have listed upwards to a dozen possible villains, from crime bosses to alien symbiotes, who could appear in the feature, as well as a couple of different versions of the Incredible Hulk. But we know for fact that we will be getting the Punisher and the legit version of the Punisher, and I'm going to see how that's going to work with Spider-Man, because that's going to up that a little bit. But are you guys excited about this, or
Well, I mean, I was until you said Punisher. I was like, oh, Predators in Spider-Man?
I'm sorry, that. But actually, you know what? It's over in the Marvel Universe. That is actually Spider-Man.
I know. That's why I was like,
that worked too.
I'm down. I'm down. I don't know about this.
This is so interesting to me that they leaked this, right? Like, we've heard rumors of Daredevil. Charlie Cox like, I'm not in it. I don't think they'll reveal it. I think he will be in it inevitably.
Yes.
I think Kingpin might make an appearance, especially Punisher's in it. We'll see. But why did they leak Punisher already? Because Marvel's very secretive. There's got to be something behind the scenes here. Because we've been asking it for the longest time. We want Punisher on cinema, and Spidey and Punisher would be incredible to see. So I don't know what that tells us, other than I'm just so surprised this is the first time we hear it and it's him.
Some of this stuff I don't think is leak necessarily, as it's just his management saying, hey, guess what? John Bernthal got a new job, because they put all this stuff out in the Hollywood trade papers. It's like, who's got what job and blah, blah, blah. And they're positioning their guy to make more money later on because he's in this stuff and it's high profile.
But I think, don't you sign NDAs though? Like they're
yes, they do, but I think it's different with how the companies work and how all like Hollywood Reporter and Variety work. They're trying to get the scoops of who's doing what, and it's only more recently, like within the last 10 years, that it's been a thing where people are looking at the Hollywood trades to see all this stuff about, who's going to be in this, and, start fan casting and guessing, what characters are going to be in these things.
Look, this is just a rumor, but I do think that was mutual. I just think it's such a big thing for a Punisher to be in a Spider-Man film that I can imagine.
That's where he started.
But if Marvel and Disney did not want this to get out, they wouldn't have allowed it to get out.
Yeah.
They must have been okay with them announcing
I'm
it.
sure.
Which is like, because look, we're talking about it. And I'm sure everyone else is going to be talking about, holy shit, Punisher's in a Spider-Man film.
Yeah, they've got to build up hype for this, man.
And how the hell is Punisher in a Spider-Man film? Because Spider-Man's not a rated R film. So it's like that.
But it will be. It may go up a notch.
Well, and also, how do you top the last movie, right? Because having the 3 different Spider-Men and all the villains, right? So they've got to do something that's like, hey, look, we're not just going to go back to, Spider-Man and some little villain stuff.
Yeah,
they're still expanding this, and these are going to be huge movies.
And look, this is what we wanted. We wanted the street level characters to appear on the screen. That gives us a chance that we're going to see other street, because when we saw Charlie Cox and Daredevil in the last Spider-Man movie, we were like, well, what the heck's going on? I'm glad that they're using that trend to go from getting people to watch the Disney Plus shows that will probably miss out on the movies, and vice versa. It's a very clean situation. What happened to the rumors about the MCU Hulk showing up in the next Spider-Man movie? Like I said on the slide hidden, we don't, they're saying there may be a couple of different versions. We don't know right now. We're going to use it as a grain of salt, but we know that this is fact right now, that Punisher will be in there. But if it does update, we'll have another rumor report, let you know. So from there, our last rumor to debunk of the night and everything, and unfortunately, this is not going to go over well. We have always said to ourselves that we are the home of Star Trek, and again, somebody, either the Wrath of Khan or the Wrath of Paramount, has happened. But we know that this is a fact.
You're right. It's fact.
That before the third season has premiered, they have said a no-go on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. They're getting ready to go into the fourth season of production, and they said it's going to be a smaller episode 5, but it's going to be an end after 5 seasons of Strange New Worlds. And we will run this up where the Star Trek Strange New Worlds will be phased out with a 5th season. Paramount Plus announced the series has been renewed for a 5th season, will consist of only 6 episodes. This season will also be the show's last. From the very beginning, Strange New World set out to honor what Star Trek has always stood for: boundless curiosity, hope, and the belief that a better future is possible, said executive producer Avi Goldsman, Henry Alonzo Myers, and Alex Kurtzman. In a joint statement, we are deeply grateful to Paramount Plus for the chance to complete our 5-season mission just as we envisioned it, along with extraordinary cast and the crew and the passionate fans who are boldly joining us on this journey. Thank you. And look, every season of this show has gotten better, but I will say this: there was not a rumor that when Skydance and Paramount were having their initial meetings about the merger, they seeked out an independent firm, and the independent firm said, what's the best thing that we could do for Star Trek? And they said, end everything. They said to get the Secret Hideout, which is Kurtzman's actual company, get him out of here as quick as possible, cancel the show, and they said only give maybe 2 or 3 seasons to the new Star Trek Academy or Starfleet Academy. That way you can actually start a reboot and brand and do it all on yourself. So true to game, somebody are listening to their financial analysts, because this started to come down. So I'm pretty sure that we get maybe 2.5, maybe 3 seasons out of Starfleet Academy. So that show has already said it's going to be doomed from the point on. But look, it gives a chance for them to go in a fresh, rebooted way. I know a lot of people were a little discouraged the way Discovery went. So this gives an opportunity to maybe get some fresh new eyes, a different production company in there. But what are you guys' thoughts about Strange New World setting in the sunset on it?
It's dumb to announce before even half of the show, right? The entirety of the show. We've only seen like a third of it so far, and they're already canceled it. So it's like, okay, so I guess seasons 3, 4, and 5 aren't that important. But
yeah, I think it went bad too, where Prodigy was a very good show, and it seemed like just everything in their ether was gonna just try to cancel this show as much as they could. Look, I think they have a problem with the executive producers, and I think they want them out, and I think they want to close it out. But you're right. This is one of those James Gunn's moments where you're like, yeah, we're going to get rid of the whole universe, but we still got 2 movies for the last universe to do out. And people are like, well, why watch that crap now?
Yeah, I think they lost whatever potential audience was left. I think that people would just kind of say, I don't need to spend any more of my time watching it. I know it's ending. I don't have to pay attention to that. I think they did. I think they did it a disservice. I think it would have been more impactful if they announced it after, like right before season 5 hit. This is trash, I think.
Yeah.
You do like you do. It's the final season, and you make a whole big thing of it, right? Mm-hmm. And you've just wasted all of that because we know it's the final season, and the next one's going to be the final season, and the one after that's going to be the final season too, because it's all over.
Absolutely.
They should have done. Remember, we a couple episodes back, we mentioned the new comic book red shirts. If you're going to make a TV show, do that. That would be super entertaining. But they just can't get it completely right here. Maybe it just needs to go somewhere else, another streaming service to try.
Well, I think you're right on that, brother. I think Paramount Plus is handicapped with a bunch. It's probably one of the lower tiers next to that and Peacock. it's just not working for them. They probably need to go back to the Netflix philosophy or some other place. But I think every company that has its own streaming network, I don't think it works. There's a couple of successful ones, and this is kind of stuff we constantly keep getting out of Paramount Plus, where you get a season or two and it's like, yeah, we're not bringing the show back. And it's disappointing, but I do know that the sun is not set on Star Trek, because they will probably reboot this with a brand new creative team somewhere down the line. It's going to be interesting to see where the next producers go, because we always get something a little different every time a new set of producers come in. Hey, maybe they go back to Rick Berman. You never know what goes on with this. So,
well, I tell you, I think we should throw our hat in the ring. This is what I was thinking. Okay. Is you do a giant mini-series crossover event kind of a thing, and you get everyone who's still alive from the original series, Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise.
Bring Kirk in. Come
seriously.
On, one more time.
You do like something that goes across all the multiverses of Star Trek, and you finally consolidate it like Crisis on Infinite Earths unto the one original Star Trek timeline. And you can have all this crazy stuff, but then at the very end collapse it and go forward with the whole universe that everyone knows and loves.
I would just like to put a disclaimer up here. This is why Dr. Brentley and I don't work as much, because he gives out our crap all over here. And guess what? Now somebody at home is typing it up, and they're going to be running right into the Paramount office and be like, that's another job, Dr. Brentley, we didn't get.
But they won't do it as well.
You heard it here first. The next Star Trek series on Netflix. And we didn't see a dime, but we
might as well just give out the title too, Star Trek Timeline. Just right now. Might as well just do it.
Yeah.